Happy Riot Wednesday, monsters!
Hey!
And welcome to Facebook Live, to YouTube, and to Twitch. Thank you to everybody for joining us here today. It is a Riot Wednesday, so best of the 2000s and early 2010s, Rico is in charge. He is playing all of your favorite hits. And our next guest is responsible for so many of those amazing hits that I know you guys are still listening to up to this day. You guys still request for all of their songs, so I think this is going to be a great way to celebrate Riot Wednesday, Rico.
In every 10 years, they do say that there's a handful of bands that channel the music, whether it's powering a generation, a movement, or just making great hits. Well, guess what? These guys have surpassed the 10-year mark and actually just kept on going. I'm looking at 20 years and forever, especially for
True.
all the dubistas out there and for all the fans of the band. They are from Cebu, but they now based in Manila, ladies and gentlemen, to join us on the show. Part of the band, fronting the band, writing some of the great songs, is none other than Gabby Alipe of Urbandub.
Hi, Gabby.
Hi.
What's
First
up,
of
man?
all, We Are Living for your background. Very zen, very spa-like. I love how aesthetic your setup is. Perfect for the show. Before anything else, how are you? How have you been? It's been a crazy couple of months. Kamusta naman?
Doing good. Everything's fine naman. Just staying with the family and then doing a couple of shows here and there online.
Yeah, the online stuff. I did get to catch it that him doing acoustic sets from home,
Wow.
and I think it was one Facebook Live show that you did. I was like, whoa, and for the fans of Urban Dub, I mean, this is something that we're gonna be looking forward to. That's why we gotta have you on the show with great fans of the 2000s and beyond. So just catch up lang tayo. When you guys first started with everything. When was this? Was it in the 90s or early 2000s?
The band officially started 2000, um, but most of the members have been around since mid 90s. Yeah,
Mhm.
during high school and college days. But we were in different bands up until the point we got together and formed the group around 2000. Yeah. Summer of 2000.
Summer of 2000. And, Carla, on those times when in the summer of 2000, they were based in Cebu. Hearing the sound
Wow.
crossing over to Manila, it was a big, big band movement, man. But, and I would always remember you would introduce yourself on the microphone that we are a hip hop band. We are something, you would joke about it. But what was the let's just say the origin of the name Urban Dub? Why did you name the band Urban Dub?
Oh, Urban Dub came because like originally we were supposed to be a rock reggae kind of a band, like
Mm-hmm.
similar to Sublime or 311.
Mm,
But eventually, when the members got together, because there's a huge reggae scene in Cebu that heavily influenced all of us,
mm,
and then to the point that even John Dinopo, the guitar player, played in a ska band and a reggae band prior to joining Urban Dub. But when we got together, uh, we all like the Deftones, so it kind of the name just stuck, and we just kind of went with it. So
mm.
it was either Urban Dub from a list. It was either Urban Dub, Shaolin Mafia, or Penetrate. So we chose Urban Dub.
Can you just imagine?
I'm sorry.
I
But if
mean,
you went with the latter, that would have changed the entire game.
can you,
Exactly.
can you imagine if you're gonna perform at a school event and they introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage, Penetrate.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You
Yeah,
know?
you have to hand it to these rock stars. They're gonna make the most uncomfortably awkward name that when they become so successful, people are gonna be like, I can't believe I have to say this, but I am such a fan of Penetrate. Oh my god. Oh my
And we
god,
were
that's
supposed to spell it with an 8 in the end.
Ah,
TR8. That's how dumb we were. Even
well,
until now.
actually, it's
It
not
hasn't changed.
dumb. It's more of like it just showed. Well, I think
that's
it's a little dumb, but it kind of showed how you guys just really had fun, and I think that's
Yeah.
also why you guys are such great performers. We're getting so many comments. People are saying favorite performers on stage, favorite band on stage. I think that really resonates with your audience as well. Eh? when the band is having fun, when they're enjoying what they're doing, and it's not like a business, it's not work. I think that's why fans gravitate towards that. But Gabby, you guys officially started like 2000s, right? And that was really the time where a lot of these great bands, some still to this day, were emerging and they were performing and stuff. What was the scene like? What was the environment like back then? Because yes, we still have up and coming bands now that are great, but back then, that's really when like big names were coming out. So how was that scene for an
Um,
up and coming band?
it was the advent of the digital age. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
there were a lot of home-based recording studios that were popping up.
Mhm.
So recording wasn't as hard or as expensive anymore. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of bands from doing covers started shifting to actually writing original material and recording them since it wasn't that expensive. So it freed up a lot of artists to be able to express themselves freely
Mm-hmm.
and hone that craft in terms of songwriting. And then back home in Cebu, since we all knew that on a national level or Manila would never really or never really paid attention to provincial bands,
Mm-hmm.
especially during that time.
Mhm.
I mean, all we did was hang out in this place called Backyard Project Studios, which is literally a backyard with this home recording studio, digital, and everybody would just hang out, all different bands, and then we would just talk about music and record our songs there and learn from each other. So it was a really good time for artists, and then it just blew up from there, I guess.
And speaking of blowing up from there, First of Summer, did you envision that this song was going to be so massive, so big that it it's the international level?
Um, you never really know if a song is gonna hit or not. I mean, sometimes when you write for albums, like some of the most well-crafted songs that you create and write with your bandmates, like you think, this is gonna be great, and then you make a song that's like you just finish it like in 10 minutes. And
Yeah.
normally the song that you just write out of the blues, that's the one that like people resonate with. It resonates with people more. So it was kind of funny in that sense. And with all our songs, like we always come at it like from a place of truth. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
about writing for hits. It's about really expressing ourselves and like our, writing and singing about our stories, especially back home. I don't know for other bands, but for us it was like that. So everything else that came after releasing that song was just a bonus.
It's such an anthem, First of Summer. It's like when you play it, it's a feel good. Let's go jump up and down. You know what I mean? That's it significant. It signifies that, and all the other hits as well. As we go on and through this, how was it feel like when you first had a gig in Manila, penetrating the Manila?
Yeah.
What was
Penetrating Manila.
yeah, yeah.
um, Definitely it was nerve wracking because like I mean we were very young when we first came to Manila. I was like, we were in our early 20s. I think I was 22. Lala was 23. John's 24. It's our first time to play, and then we came here by boat, and then um,
Wow.
Carla by
so
boat. Take note by
I
boat.
know.
it's like a 24-hour ride, a 24-hour trip, and then it was a big event, straight up NU 107, like sorry, but radio station, another radio station event, but they're not around anymore, so it's okay, I guess. And then
Still
all the
being
all the all the bands were there. All the bands that we looked up to were there. So um, being backstage and seeing all the bands that you just watch on TV or hear on the radio, definitely nakakaba. And then we didn't know how people would really react to us.
Mm-hmm.
So we were even puking backstage, and we were like
Oh.
all nerves and cold sweats and everything. But when we started performing, all we just thought about was that we're here to represent where we come from, and thankfully it went well.
yeah.
That's the understatement of the year, okay? Thankfully, it went well. Gabby, what the heck? Like 20 years in, and people are still obsessed with the songs. They sing it, they play it all the time. I mean, looking back, sorry, before we continue on this journey, I just have to ask this. I mean, you guys started, you took a boat for 24 hours to the big city of Manila to play alongside bands that were already more established in that sense. And now you guys are like this iconic band. I mean, do you ever sometimes just look back and think, wow, I can't believe like that's how we started and we're here today? Like, do you have those moments where you're like, I can't believe this is my life? That's insane.
When we had our reunion of sorts, like all four of us, especially when we went uh when we toured 2 years ago, we toured together. The original members, the four members, we toured the US. We couldn't help but just like sit back and just look back on what we've accomplished together as a group, and definitely it was surprising. We never really expected it. During the time that we were going through it, we were just happy performing, happy playing, and I think that played a huge part because we weren't really thinking about anything else but just writing, creating songs, and just playing for the
Mm-hmm.
fun of it. It was never like the business aspect of it. We just dealt with it as it came along, but like the main focus and the main goal was just to keep performing and performing these songs.
That's so inspiring because it's like you guys really just followed your passions, no? Like you didn't
Yeah,
really see it as like a okay, we're gonna make it big. It was more like we're gonna appreciate and be grateful for every gig that we get, every show that we do. That's such a nice way of looking at it as a band, you know, especially if you're up and coming, because some are always just so focused like we gotta be big, we gotta make it, we gotta, you know, get our name out there and be fantastic. Whereas you guys, you went with the flow, right? You were
yeah.
along for the ride and you had fun. Oh, I wish I had talent.
We, we we always consider ourselves, even until today, we always still consider ourselves like guests in Manila because we're really from Cebu. So we never
Oh.
really looked at it like we. Um, that's why we came about it like being with other artists here in Manila or whoever. Like we always came at it in a position of like being respectful with everyone that we came across because we
Mm-hmm.
always consider ourselves guests until now. So that never went away. And when you say iconic, that's just a politically correct way of saying that we're old. We never really,
No, the
never
politically
really
correct
looked at
word
it.
for that is legend. You're
Alam mo
a legend. And it's like,
yun,
oh my God, that means I am old.
before when they used to say OG original gangster, now when you say OG old guy, it's like what?
Old
What?
guy.
Right? It's original
No.
gangster, man. But bringing the hits to Cebu, to Manila, making it big, releasing the tour and everything. Then in comes the music videos. Now, one of them, it features, well, Isa Calzado. How did the music
Yeah.
videos come about? The casting for the music videos? Who were thinking
Um,
of
we were very lucky to be able to get a chance to work with really great directors for our videos. For the evidence video, we got to work with Quarkinaris. And then I have to give credit also to our label during that time, EMI, our boss, boss Chris, because like he was really game to letting us express ourselves. And like even if it was like out of the box or too violent or whatever like that. So go. He didn't care if it was gonna get banned or anything like that. Like he actually was expecting for it to get banned, which was what we were going for. So we were happy
Hmm.
naman na Corkinares conceptualized the video with us and executed it, and then we were lucky enough to get uh, uh, Miss Isa and Ryan Eigenman to shoot with us. And it was
Hmm.
very funny to shoot that video because we were supposed to have a fight scene,
Mhm.
me and Ryan Eigenman, and then I looked at Quark. He's very, you know how Quark in Harris is very animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're gonna see him in the bed, and then you're gonna grab him, and you're gonna fight him, and then you're gonna roll around. And it's like, dude, I'm 5 foot nothing, and he's like almost 6 feet tall. How am I gonna fight him? Can I just shoot him? Like straight up. I think that would make more sense, right? So
I mean, he knows jujitsu, Carla.
I
He's
know.
no,
already a guy, but on music video, yeah, how will that translate, right? You have a boxer
exactly.
and you have a grappler, but with the songs, with the music video, what was the process of that? Who thinks, who casts, who does all that for you?
Yeah, do you sit down as a band and then you're like, okay, we're gonna do this and we're gonna get this person. We're just gonna tell the label and production.
Quark and the band discussed the theme or the concept behind the song, Um,
Mm-hmm.
we wanted, since the theme of the song is based on duality. So
Uh-huh.
since it's about cheating, right? So it's duality about the lyrical content is very heavy. So when we were writing the song, we wanted to have a contrast of having it like a soft R&B sound to it,
Mhm.
to have
Uh-huh.
that contrast to fit into the theme of duality. So when we were talking about that with Quark, what he thought of was, all right, so let's do a metal video since it's an R&B based song. Let's do a metal video. That's why it became. Uh, uh, that's why he shot it the way that he shot it, or the concept was like that. So it also still fits within the theme. And then all the rest, Quark handled everything like with the casting and everything else.
And nung time pa nun, music videos were the thing. You know what I mean? You
Yeah, they
you
were
get
a
Yeah, there was still big budget for videos.
it wasn't on done on cell phones, and it was
Hey,
big
first
production.
of all, music videos are just a visual translation of the song. So whether
Mm,
it's big budget or not, it's the song that's the meat, right?
yep.
I'm just trying to save whatever I can, but that's really cool, Gabby. I love how you're sharing these behind the scenes moments of how things went about, because people only see the final product, right? They only see the final music video, the final song, and for you to be able to share these moments with us, that's really great. And as a band, is that something that you guys agreed on, like whoever it is that you were going to work with? Because the way you're talking about Quark, it's as if you guys really became friends and you guys trusted him. So as
Yeah.
a band, when it came to songwriting, producing, and all of that stuff, did you guys as a band say and agree that the people that we get that are going to work with us have to be people we trust and we get along with? Because for a lot of up and coming bands, they don't have a choice, right? They're given like a team to work with. Sometimes it doesn't jive, but they go along with it. For Urban
It,
Dub, was it like, no, we have to get along with everybody because that's
it
the
has to be
process
that
that
way.
we want?
Yeah, it has to be that way. I mean, the like you said, the music video is an extension of the music, or visually that's supposed to like represent what the song is about. So if you approach your songwriting or the songs in an artful way, then the music video should also be the same. So we tried our best to work with directors that shared the same vision, or more or less close to what we were what we conceptualized in terms of the song.
Mhm.
So we were lucky enough naman that we were able to work with amazing directors um through the years na we were releasing music videos and releasing, Quark, Pancho Sierra, Maria Mora, uh, if I'm forgetting, Jaime Sena, so we were lucky in that sense.
You know, story behind Cebuana.
Yeah.
So,
Here, Carl's asking, what's the story behind the song Cebuana? Because I mean, you guys are obviously proud to be from Cebu. So what's the story behind Cebuana?
it's part of the album Under Southern Lights. So it's fourth album, and then it was our second major label release. So uh, Under Southern Lights, the concept for the whole album is based on our hometown, like in
Uh huh.
general. So we wanted to write a song to pay tribute to um to Cebu in that sense, and we just put a female twist in.
Mm.
I mean,
Short and sweet.
yeah, having the big hits, going selling albums at the time, having different shows. Then in comes the band takes a break. So
Yeah,
I mean that one, I was at the concert. I know Kino is here somewhere saying he still has my media ID because he couldn't get in, and I told him to use it.
There
yeah.
it is.
Concert. Hey, ID ko Kino, padala lang dito. But for the Bistas, it was really a surreal moment, but it had a lot of people crying, man. So what was the cause of that pause for you guys?
We were we were approaching our 15th year in the
Hmm.
industry, right? So we since landing in Manila and getting our break and everything like that, we never stopped working. We just kept at it. Like any opportunity would come our way, we would take it. So we were in constant motion, so to speak, like just working and working. And then it came to a point around 2011. our drummer got married. I had a baby. Lale got married. She had her kids and stuff like that. So the priorities now started changing for us.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then especially when you're a new father, like I can only speak for myself, right? So when you're on tour or when you're performing late at nights, usually we play last, so we I end up coming home around 4 in the morning, or when I'm on tour, I'll be gone about 3 days and stuff. And if you have a newborn, you can't help but feel guilty and not be and feel like you're not there for him. So
Mm-hmm.
my priorities and my mindset started to change. That I just wanted to be home first. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
and then the same thing with my, like, let's say for example, my drummer, our drummer, his wife got this really great opportunity to work in Australia.
Mhm.
So she's always been supportive of him throughout his career. This time around, his mindset was like, okay, I'll be the one to support her this time with her career. So they opted to move to Australia. So prior to us doing our 15th year, he was already fixing up their papers to leave to migrate. So
Wow.
we started thinking, all right, let's celebrate our 15th year. Let's take a break from this. Let's take a hiatus. And it's good because like things started becoming routine. It felt like it was routine for us, like performing and everything like that. And then, you know, if I'm being honest, we're starting to get on each other's nerves. So
Wow.
because your priorities are different, your mindsets and goals are starting to change, right? Individually. So we opted to, okay, let's take this break. Let's take this hiatus. Instead of us getting on each other's nerves, like let's support each other and with whatever it is that we wanted to do outside of Urban Dub and explore something new.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gabby, can I
that's
just
why we're
ask?
still
'Cause
friends now, I guess.
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask next. Because you know what? How you are saying it is it's true. You guys started, you got your big break, and you guys just continued on from there. Like literally 15 years of nonstop work, tours,
Yeah,
gigs. I mean, you guys went abroad and everything like that.
yeah.
Sort of a moment of cabin fever in a way, getting on each other's nerves. So you take this break. You all agree. It's nice that there was a mutual agreement that you were all going to take a little break.
Mhm.
Mhm.
From that break, was it a big change? Because you're coming from 15 years of nonstop work, right? So you're used to going home at 4 a.m., you're used to traveling, not really being home, being in studio and whatnot. When you guys took that first day, like the first day of your break, were you a little like, what am I supposed to do? Or were you just like, yes, welcome rest. I'm going to sleep for a week. I mean, what was that like? The first like week of your break?
I'm free. That's what I was thinking. I was happy. I mean, I was really happy because but it only lasted for a couple of months. I mean, at first, of course, it was freeing in that sense. And then I didn't want to write music. I didn't want to touch music. I didn't want to do anything. Like I just wanted to be there, focused with my son, and then and just went with the motions day to day and everything. But after a while, maybe a year in or 6 months in, Um, I started missing performing. I started writing again, and then it was good for all of us because even like our guitar player John Dinopol, he started writing his own songs and started recording his own songs, and then he explored that side of music. And he's not just a guitar player. I mean, he was able to release material as well on his own. Lalay focused on being a mom. I started writing and then eventually released a solo EP.
Mhm.
So under MCA, because our boss asked me like, do you wanna continue to record
Mhm.
songs? It was kind of hard at first because like I was trying to figure out like who I was as a songwriter outside of Urban Dub.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So basically, it was a good thing. It was a good exercise also for me to be able to explore that side, writing for myself and not for with the with the template of what Urban Dub was.
Because of the sound, a certain sound that you guys got to go by and everything. This is sort of like your own sound, as they say. Now,
Sound and beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabby, with it, you guys announced it. You guys are going to be taking a break. Ano yung mga chismis na narinig ninyo? No? Kahit na in-announce niyo na parang be-break kami, ay nag-aaway yung mga yan. Ay baka sa pera yan. You
Oh.
know how people are. So, ano yung mga funny chismis na narinig ninyo?
We really don't pay attention much to stuff online or things like that. So we never really cared much for those kinds of things. So
Uh-huh.
I really didn't notice.
Di niya na
Oh, Rico Chismoso is so sad.
in-notice
He's like,
ko.
man, I wanted to know the craziest rumor that
So,
came out.
I heard though that when we got back together, like me and John Dinopol started performing again.
ah,
I mean, they said, oh, kala ko ba break up na sila? Kala ko ba naghiwalay? Yung pala, magkakabalikan na din pala. I mean, uh, bakit hindi? I mean, like, we missed performing together. Me and John missed performing together. And when we came back, Lale wasn't even part of the band. And John was already based in based in Australia. And then we kind of missed each other. I mean, we started hanging out again, and then started performing, and then we just started playing acoustic songs, and then we started messing around with rearranging the songs into an acoustic form. Because
mhm,
like prior to us having a hiatus, mabibilang mo lang the number of times that Urbandub actually played an acoustic set.
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of both of us kind of wanted to explore that side of our songs, or at least that version of our songs. So it was also very helpful for us. But it took about probably like 2 years before we got back together, and then 3 years before Lala decided to join the band again. She waited until her kids were a little bit bigger,
mhm,
and it was nice because she was saying that when she was playing, she said like when she started playing again, she this was what was missing. I mean, she loved being a mom and taking care of her kids, but she always felt like there was something missing within her.
mhm.
So she figured out that oh yeah, okay, it's me playing music. So it was nice. It was self
Oh.
realization happened during the time of our hiatus, which was good also for us.
Now, for 15 years, you've been playing all the songs over and over. What was the song that you love performing? And what was the song that you don't want to perform anymore, but people just keep on asking for it?
We don't like playing First of Summer anymore,
Really?
but we like playing First of Summer because we see how the people reacted.
Uh,
You know what I mean?
Ah, yeah.
A
So
lot of
it's,
times,
it's
all
like
of
a
these songs, because you play it every set, right? Because it's fun to
yeah.
perform, but after one nakakaumay, you know what I mean? It's a if you're eating adobo, it's your favorite food, but if you keep eating and eating it, mauumay ka rin. Okay. But what changes the whole perspective of it is when you see how people reacted. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
mhm.
So I mean, the song already become it's not ours anymore. It's the audience's. As cliche as that may sound, but it really is, it's their song already. So it's nice to see them react that way to these songs.
Gabby, how does it feel though? Because like you said, that makes sense, you know? You guys are kind of sick of playing it, but when you see how people react, you love playing it. I
Yeah.
mean, how does it feel that you take that break? You guys took a break. It took a couple of years, and when you guys came back, people were just welcoming you. Like, of course, there were some people that were like, "Oh, I thought they were broken up already." The mga mema. But like
Yeah.
everyone else, they were just so excited to have you guys back. I mean, that must have been a great feeling, right? Because other bands, they take a break, they come back. Sometimes no one really cares anymore,
Mm.
or they say things like, "Ah, they're old na, oh, they're lost na, it's okay, whatever." But when you guys came back, people were just so hungry for music, whether it be new music or like, newer renditions of your older songs. How was that like? I mean, did it feel like surreal in a way that, wow, nobody forgot?
Yeah, of course. You know, what I mean, we're very grateful for everyone that they still continue to like invite us to perform, especially when we came back like full force when we got new members to come in to help us perform, like Sam Song, our new drummer now, and Russell Manaloto from Fast Pitch started performing with us, and then eventually Lale came back, and then it's like a full band now. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, a lot of times it's really like it's hard to how do I say it? We really don't mind what people would say, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
positive or negative about us. It's just that we really just really enjoy performing and playing these songs. And then if people like it, then that's a bonus, and we're very happy that they come along for the ride. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So sama-sama kung trip nila yung ginagawa namin. But if they don't like it, then maybe they should listen to somebody else.
They're so I love this attitude. This is an attitude that I think everybody needs to adopt. The urban dub attitude. It's like, you want to join us, that's great. If not, then find somebody else. We're good. We're fine. I love that.
Well, because what can you do? Especially we live in times that you put out something, some people like it, some people won't. You can't please
Mm,
everybody. Maybe we've gotten old enough to like realize those kinds of things, and so whatever happens, happens.
When it comes to writing great songs, you've written the great ones, also the band as well. And when it comes to teaching online, do you also teach people songwriting techniques? Are you part of the camp?
Uh,
I
I,
want.
yeah. I was part of Elements songwriting camp for the entire run
Mhm,
since the first one. I was privileged enough to be given the opportunity by Mr. C. Uh, to be invited. Twinkie Lagdameo as well invited me to be a mentor.
mhm,
And to be honest, it was really great for me because like I was coming in as a mentor, but like you really actually really learn so much also because like you're in the presence of so many great artists,
uh-huh,
not
mm-hmm.
just even the mentors, but even the kids that were part of the camp. Like these guys are like handpicked and like from thousands of uh, from thousands of applicants. We only get 60.
mhm,
So and that's from all over the Philippines. So the level of talent was really amazing.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So you it broadens your mind as a musician, as a creative, and then you get to meet people and talk to people that far from your genre, but you always pick up something new from them. Like Gary Granada
Mhm.
is one of the best songwriters for me. That
Mm-hmm.
I came across during that camp. Joey Ayala, you know what I mean? That it doesn't seem like I would gravitate towards those kinds of songwriters. You know what I mean? Because of my
Yeah.
genre, but like you really learn a lot from those kinds of people in terms of
Mm-hmm.
approach
Mhm.
in songwriting. So it's great.
Yung songwriting style pa lang nila is very nationalistic. It's very organic when it comes to it.
Yeah.
When it comes to Gary Granada and of course Joya, what have you come to learn from them?
How they construct their songs. I mean, the metaphors that they use, how they tell their story is one of the most important things I learned from them. Like the flow of how
Mhm,
they do it. I mean, not just the structure, but how they piece it together. You know what I mean? That
Mm-hmm.
they give you this visual image right away of the concept when you hear those songs, and even the emotion that comes with how they perform it.
mhm,
Uh, is amazing. Because like we'd have
That
nights there, yeah,
mhm.
we'd have nights that like we'd be by the beach and Joey Yalo played like a whole set, like 4 hour set of him just on acoustic guitar, and we're all together milling around, like
Campfire
milling
feels. Hey.
campfire feel na parang nakachinelas lang. You know what I mean? Gary V performed on stage na nakachinelas lang.
that's
I mean, like everyone's
awesome.
drinking wine in board shorts and like in slippers, and then here's Gary Vee performing, and then you'll see Rico Blanco dancing with him on stage. So it's kind of it's surreal. And then, but like, I mean, you know that scene in Pinocchio, that movie, that old Disney classic,
Yeah.
that we went to that carnival place or that, and then they ended up becoming donkeys. Kind of like that.
You can tell he's such a dad as well. No, it's so cute. His reference is like, remember Pinocchio? It's like, oh,
Yeah,
look at you busting out the Disney classics. Okay, Gabby,
you gotta.
let's do some fun random questions because you are a rock star. I mean, a lot of fans have been commenting that the reason why they love you guys as well is because no, 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 you're so humble. You guys have no yabang at all in your body, in your bones or whatever. But what is the most rock star purchase you've made? Like looking back, you're like, oh my God, that is the worst thing I ever bought with my money. Why did I think that was a good idea? Can you remember like the stupidest or craziest thing you bought?
Oh no. I mean, I don't buy much. Siguro mga TV,
Ah.
PlayStations, mga ganun.
He's
I'm
so
not
he's
very,
so
I'm not
good.
very, I'm not medyo lavish in that sense, I guess.
Gitara, hindi ka nagano ng magandang blinged out, bedazzled guitar or something?
No, no, no. Thankfully, JB Music provides our guitars.
Ah,
Ah, see what you did there.
Right?
so,
Magaling to, magaling to. Okay, Gabby, you have a lot of
Alcohol and
tattoos.
drugs. What?
You have a lot of you have a lot of tattoos. Let's change the subject. You have a lot
Okay.
of tattoos. Do you remember what your first tattoo was and where it is?
I got my first tattoo when I was 17, and it's on I think my left arm, like a tribal sun tattoo, like very
Okay.
small. And then, as most people who get tattoos, when you get your first tattoo, after a while, when you look at it, you're like, parang hindi pantay, dapat medyo pantay. So it starts adding and starts creeping all over your body. And I was lucky enough naman that most of my tattoos were done by really amazing artists like Joe Saliendra, Kroll Gabiana from Cebu, and of course the late great Ricky Santana.
Wow.
what's the most important tattoo you got in your
Yeah.
body?
Most important tattoo.
Hmm.
The most painful one and the most important one, I think, is the one that I have on my back. My entire back is like a samurai, like slaying a dragon. It was done by Ricky Santana.
Hmm.
I think that's one of the most important ones because it was
Okay.
painful. It took
Uh,
8 hours.
what
Wow.
what was the one that you regret?
Yeah,
Nasa
the silliest.
yung parang
Ah,
okay, I have an avocado here in my arm, you know?
on my right, I think my left arm, like I did this. I think I was 18, like with a young artist na yung tropa-tropa lang, kaibigan lang. And then he was supposed to do like a tribal thing on my arm, but ended up messing it up.
Oh
So
no.
because he forgot the patterns because he was so high.
Uh,
Oh my
On,
god.
so I mean, so that was it.
so it's not a tribal pattern. Once again, if you see it, it's not a plant. It was supposed to be a tribal pattern.
But
But
I
yeah,
kept it on. It's like it's. I guess like tattoo should be part of your journey in that sense. So I never really had it like covered up or anything. Like
It takes a
okay,
real
sige.
man. It takes a really
Ganun na.
nice person to just be like, okay, I'll live. Are you still friends with the guy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what's
I
his
think
name?
moral of the story though. Moral of the story: just get your tattoos done by professionals.
I
At this
I
point,
experienced that thing, the horror, the worst case scenario in getting a tattoo when an artist will say, "I," while he's doing your tattoo, and then he goes, "I."
oh my god,
I experienced that, like for real.
Yung kakamot sa puno, no? Yun agad.
oh
Okay.
my god. Okay, I've got one. What is the craziest thing that you can remember that a fan has done in all your
Wow.
years playing? Like, have you had a
Yep.
fan that like tattooed your name on her like chest, or what is the craziest
There are a lot.
fan experience?
You have to remember, I was also part of Franco during the, especially those early years of Franco. So there's a lot. There's a lot of crazy stories on the road.
Share
Let's see.
one. Share one.
Uh, yeah, tattoos. People getting tattoos of you, tattoos of your band. Uh, people letting you sign their underwear, whether guy or girl. Okay sana kung girl pero kung guy medyo okay. And then yung mga tipong habang you're like in a restroom, lalapitan ka. Bro, pwede ba picture? Sabi ko, pwede ba umihi muna? Or while you're eating, and then somebody will put a shoe on your table. Boss, pasahin naman ng sapatos. Like, while you're eating, I'm like, crazy people jumping up on stage, so I try to take the mic from you. Crazy people jumping on stage trying to hug lalay. Drunk people. So there's a lot of crazy stories
But
on the
Oh my
road.
god.
what is the most memorable one na yung tipong it really changed your life? Na
Yeah.
parang somebody came up to you, probably you're at an airport, or parang, hey man, your song made me decide to get married, or this is my true love song kind of thing?
I think the one that sticks with me. It was early in our career, and then we just released our first major label album,
Mhm,
and then a mom called us up. A mom invited us to perform in her daughter's debut.
mhm,
Uh, and then we found out that the mom was so thankful to us because the daughter was had mental issues, mental problems, mental health issues,
Oh.
and she was actually uh, wanted to attempt like suicide for a number of times. And then when
Mhm.
she heard soul searching, that changed. So I think that was the most memorable for us, and also for me personally as a songwriter, that helped her because like that song is based on that.
mhm.
Gabby, that's incredible. I mean, just hearing you share that story, I mean, I can only imagine what it felt like for you guys, right? Because here you are doing what you love, having fun, but it means so much to so many people, sometimes more than you actually will ever know.
Yeah,
And that's just so humbling. That must be so humbling as well
yeah,
to hear something like that, right? Oh,
yeah.
I'm so inspired today. Wait, I love him.
On the flip side though, it's kind of funny for us because like we get invited to play like weddings,
Mm.
but like when we play weddings, we play like Evidence, The Fight Is Over. So it's
So
I mean,
parang, di ba? I
I
mean,
mean, why don't you invite us to play with all our songs about heartbreak? You know, like it's weird being at the wedding and the couple is like watching us singing along and we're playing "Caught You in the Arms of Another." So it's
question, yung mga songs na gano'n, like Caught You in the Arms of Another, Evidence, Fight is Over. Ano yung mga inspiration nun? I mean, I know it's
Because
not,
you said your songs are based on truth.
yeah, at some point, especially when you're young and as you go through relationships and everything, you come across those experiences, whether it's you who did it or somebody else did it to you, or you have a friend that talks to you about certain things like that, and then you just think about it, and then eventually you put it out on paper. Yun lang naman. Most of our songs have been like that, based on personal experience or conversations that we may have had with friends or people that are close to us.
I mean, I'm learning so much, Carla, it's like
I
being part of the band.
Talaga.
This is just like a roadmap to how it is to be in the biggest rock band in the Philippines, then getting your priorities in life and family.
Yeah.
In the middle of what, your third or fourth album, okay, we're all getting married, guys. Life has to go on to plano tayo, upo tayo, ganito tayo, then we'll take a break. And then in comes the reunion concert that you guys did. Now, the question that everybody's going to be asking now is, what's the future for the band? What's next? Especially these
Um,
pandemic times. Did you ever do a reunion show with the band?
Like a
we didn't
digital
really.
one?
If I'm being honest, we're not very comfortable performing uh,
Mm.
uh, online because
Uh-huh.
it's different. I mean, we've always been a live band, you know what I mean? We feed
Yes.
off the energy. I mean, we enjoy it because we get to play and perform music together. And we're very happy about how um, people react to our songs. But as a group, and then being so far away from each other, like Janjan being in Australia, you know what I mean? And we've always been a band that it has to happen organic. So
Yeah.
if the feel is not there, it's gonna feel awkward for us. You know what I mean? To do something
Mm.
like that. So we've always been a band that like went with the flow, like let the opportunity come.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it has to be organic. It has to feel right, rather than oh let's force it because we have to do something. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
with the songwriting right now, it's like we have to admit, or I have to admit that like my mindset when I was in my early 20s, now that I'm in my late 30s, right? It's totally very different, you know. So um, I mean, the themes and the songs and the concepts of urban dub is very different from how I think now. So
Mm-hmm.
if a song comes out at this stage in our lives, then maybe we'll come up with something. But for now, we're just going with the flow.
Mm.
So, Carla, this is the first interview that we got that the artist actually said, "Yeah, we're having a hard time digitally." I mean,
Yeah. Thanks
in
for your
all
honesty,
honesty,
Gabby, because a lot of artists, I think, are really trying their best to, of course, bring their music to the fans in any way that they
Yeah.
can. And right now, we really
Wait,
can't do live performances, or at least they're not like what they used to be, where it was a jam packed room and everyone was just jumping and dancing and having a good time. And it's great as well to hear from an established artist that it's not something that we're really enjoying slash are comfortable with right now because we feed off of that energy. I mean,
yeah. Well,
with that being,
for us,
yeah,
for
for
the
you as a band, that's what I find, that's what I respect. It's that you're open enough and honest enough to share that with us. You mentioned earlier songwriting. I mean, in the midst of everything that's going on now, like you said, your mindset is also very different from what it was like 10 years ago. But I mean, now with this pandemic, with everything that's going on outside, all over the world, artists around the world, international established artists, are also finding it hard to create music or to write new music. How has it been for you? You as a songwriter, you as an artist. I'm not talking about the band, but for you, have you been writing? Do you have any songs in the lineup, or are you just taking like a mental break from that because there is no inspiration?
oh, there's a lot of inspiration for during these times with
Great.
everything that's been going on. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna be a hit song, but like I mean, as a songwriter, you never really stop. Uh, you never really stop trying to hone your craft, so you keep writing. I mean,
Mhm.
well, for me at least. So I've written a couple of songs during this quarantine, but mainly for myself. I mean,
Mm.
I've started the process of recording the songs in Tower of Doom,
Mhm.
the studio Tower of Doom. I'm very grateful that they transferred, so they're very near my house, so I can just like easily get go to the studio. Of course, with all the precautions that they have to follow with the barangay, that you have to get tested and face shields and everything like that. But all in all, I think this is also the perfect time for songwriters to really express themselves because, like, what is there to do? I mean,
Yes.
you know, kasama na yun yung practice eh. I mean, you practice your craft. You continue to write without the thought of making a hit song. Just write what
Mm.
you feel. You know what I mean? So it's a good exercise.
Oof.
galing, galing. I mean,
I'm
with writing with the
busog na ako. We've learned so much.
message mo for all the Dubistas, all the fans of Urban Dub, day one fans, and also the new ones as well.
Uh, you have to give it up to them. Man. We wouldn't probably last this long if it weren't for their support. Uh, it, yung lagi pa rin nandyan, yung mga
Mhm.
Davista, we consider them like family. We've grown up with them, uh, even been part of mga milestones in their life, like getting married or whatnot. So it's nice to have these people around and people who continue to listen to our music.
Mhm.
Um, and then hopefully by next year things will change. Na we get to perform again live for all of them. Now magkakasama. Kahit konti lang muna. You know what I mean? Like uh, hopefully their artists can go back to what they do best, and fans will be able to be in the same venue with the bands or the artists that they love. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Kailangan we need music more than now, more than ever. In that sense, that connection. I think
Yeah.
that's very important. Hopefully next year we can do something like that again.
Is there something to look forward to next year for the band? New album, new album, Urban Dub.
New album?
What is
What's
it?
this? I mean, maybe not an album, but maybe a song. Pero you never know. Like we're not in the process of writing anything right now. We're thinking about it, but like for me, I've been writing along for myself. Uh, I might release a couple of stuff. Hopefully, I can be part of your thing.
Sure, you'll be here.
Yes.
You can
Yeah.
play a 20-song set if you want.
1,000 times yes.
But I mean, it's now it's like we're in a stage that we just do it for fun. I mean,
Mhm.
um, if we release something, it's because we want to share it, and then if people will gravitate towards it, then great. If they don't, then good. Okay lang. Ang daming magaling na artists ngayon. Yeah, I mean, we're in a great time right now with artists coming out, especially the younger generation. Amazing artists.
He's such a chill guy. I
When it's
love. We need to adopt this mindset, the Gabby Alipe mindset. It's out there. You want it? Sure. You don't? Okay. There are other great people out there. Dude, I mean, can you start like a life coach company? Because I feel like people would gravitate towards your vibe. I
Yeah.
am. You're so wonderful, Gabby. Honestly. It's so nice to be able to talk
My
to
mom
somebody.
thinks so. My mom thinks so.
Oh. Well, she raised you well, so I mean, everyone can agree with me. But thank you, Gabby. I mean, this was
Thank
such a
you. I
fun
had fun.
interview. I mean, people are of course looking forward to whatever it is that you and the band have planned. They're gonna wait patiently. I mean, they waited 2 years. They're gonna wait. They'll wait however long it takes, and we know that we can expect nothing but great things from you guys. So thank you. Thank you for spending time.
Thank you so much for having me. This is
Thank
fun.
you very much, man. Thank you for the message, for the song. Now we know that he doesn't like performing first of summer, so he
He doesn't like
We're just
performing. It's a
gonna focus
request for
on
it.
that, right?
no, but we learn a lot with life and everything, my man. Thank you very much,
Thank
and
you.
Thank you,
Salamat.
Gabby.
love the
God bless
background,
you.
ladies and gentlemen. Urban Dubs, Gabby Alipe. There
Bye.
you go, Carla Aguas. Right?
I love this man. Oh my gosh. Rico, going into this interview, I did not know what to expect. I know I've said that in a couple of interviews, but you have this like rock star, right? You have this guy who's really known
Mhm.
to like bust out the music and the crowds go wild. And then he's literally just like, hey guys, what's up?
You know, when
Like
it
just
comes
going with the flow, drinking my coffee.
right? And with the nice background and everything. But going into it, he is the voice of many generations and keep that music going. And this is something that is nice to look forward to, especially for
Yeah.
2021. Will the band release a record? Will he release a record? That's something that we have to look forward to. But it gives us something to look forward to. But thank you very much, Gabby Lipe. It is Riot Wednesday. We're going to relive their songs. We're going to play some more music. But for Facebook Live, thank you guys for watching. My name is Rico Robles.
I'm Carla